Hey there, John Opinion Sports. The last couple of weeks I've said I just want to remove myself from being emotional with these games, but I thought like the last, 4 or 5 weeks we've seen like the lowest this offense can get with all the injuries, and I just did not see this coming. We are, with everybody back, we are going backwards. And I'm going to say something now, and I know this isn't a spur of the moment thing because I've been feeling this way for a while. This is the most inept coaching staff I've seen in 35 years as a fan on the offensive side of the ball. This coaching staff is it's running out of time. From here on out, this has to be, Mayor has to judge what happens from here on out, adjustments that can be made to give this coaching staff another year. It's unbelievable I'm on here saying this. I'm heavily leaning towards the coaching staff is just not good. And think about this. If you think the offensive line or the quarterback's a problem, do you trust this coaching staff bringing in another young quarterback? I don't. I can't. The scheme is bad. It is not good. I am just, if you're going a different direction in quarterback, I am not bringing back this staff to ruin them. I've just seen enough of this scheme. What we are seeing these last couple of years goes way beyond bad offensive line, bad quarterback play. It is schematic. I'm sorry. I'm not sitting on here and saying I have the answers. But what we've been seeing for the last year and a half is not it. I know that. I know when something isn't working, and this isn't working. And since after that Saints game, defenses have figured this offense out. They are sitting on every play. They know 90% of the routes are 5 yards and less, and why wouldn't they just sit down on everything? And ever since defenses come down and pressed and got up out by the line, I don't know, the coach, Garrett and Judge, they can't draw nothing up to get anybody in any kind of space. They're not running any kind of rub. Look at what New England used to do when teams would do this. They'd rub route you to death. They'd make you pay every time you come down and you press on one of their receivers. But we don't see that at all. There's just nothing, no adjustments, the same things, the same calls. You're seeing the same play being called every 2-3 plays. What's the point? The teams know what's coming. I don't know. That second Daniel Jones interception was completely, the defense was sitting on it. It was completely baited. I'm not saying he don't have no fault in it, but the defense knew what the play was. They completely baited Daniel Jones. All it takes is a little bit of pressure so you can't scan the field quite as well. And the offensive line tonight was just awful. I know it's mostly backups, but the worst on the field was Will Hernandez. I know there's a few of us Giants fans that are still hanging in there for Will Hernandez. I think it's time for us to let go, man. He is he's being outperformed by Nate Soldier. This is where we're at with him now. I get you could say Nate Soldier is his tackle next to him. I get you could say, Billy Price is his center. These are who he's working with. But he is obviously the worst offensive lineman, and it is glaringly obvious to me. I made a video the first 3 weeks of last year saying he should have been out. The Giants should have been on their way of trying to find him be replaced somehow, at the end of this year or possibly midway through last year, and he's still on his team. It's just unbelievable. Now, the first Daniel Jones interception, I'm not sure what happened there. That might have been the worst play of Daniel Jones' career here. I know he had a couple of them that were pretty bad where he was trying to throw them away at the back of the end zone or something, but I honestly don't understand. All I can think of it was he was instantly pressured, had enough time to scan the field for half a second, saw a white jersey and flung it. But it's almost like a comical joke of a play like you see on Madden where you just receiver's open and you throw it and it just goes right to him. It's just, I don't know. I haven't seen too many plays like that. It was unbelievable. I was in utter shock. And it took me about 3 seconds to even realize what happened while I was watching the game. As soon as I saw that play, I knew the game was over. Actually, I think it was before that. We get down the field. It was 10-17. It's a fourth down. I get you're playing Brady and you think you're going to put up points, whatever. To that game, though, it had been pretty tight. Take the points. They go for 4th and 1, and then on the 4th down play, who do you got out there? No Kadarius Toney. I mean, none of them. No Darius Slayton's out there. You get 3 tight ends on a route, and Colin Johnson. I mean, no disrespect to Colin Johnson, but I mean, I want Kadarius Toney coming across that field. It's just unbelievable how this team is completely inept at finding any way to get any receiver open. You see the way the Buccaneers use Mike Evans. They just run him in 5 yards on a slant and a stop or whatever, which should be, I mean, Garrett slant stops. Garrett should love that play. You just box at the corner. You could use Kenny Golladay that way 9 times out of 10 down the goal line. Do they? No. It's just, it's completely inept. This team it's just in over its head. I get there's fundamental problems with the scheme and all that, but at this point, I mean, it can't get any worse if you try anybody else out, like play calling. Because just, there has to be some kind. It's time to make a change of some kind. Do something, because I'm losing faith of any kind in this team. I'm losing faith in this coaching staff. 10 points against this defense that is severely beat up is inexcusable. Inexcusable. And the way they use Saquon tonight and Kadarius Toney, I'm sorry, these are difference-making players. It is inexcusable. They could not find a way to get them an open field on a few plays. Inexcusable. I'm going to say it right now. All but maybe a couple other coaching staffs in the NFL could find ways to get these players in the games and make a difference. So, honestly, I feel like this should be it. These next 6-7 games, if we don't see adjustments of some kind, we gotta look for a new coaching staff next year. It is unbelievable how much backwards we are going on this offense. I thought it was bad enough when we went from Sherman and then the offense we saw last year. Like, that was bad enough. That was hard to deal with. But we are going backwards again. And I am sorry. I am not going to let this coaching staff sit there on the excuse of this offensive line. I know it's bad. I don't care. Teams scheme all their players open every week. Just turn on a fucking 49ers game or something. Steal it if you got it. Just use some from somebody else. This isn't working. Anything, please. Please, I can't take anymore. This offensive coaching staff has sucked all the enjoyment out of me of watching these games. I don't even want to watch another game this year. That's disturbing. That's not good. And this is supposed to be the New York Giants. We're supposed to be a prideful fan base. The fan base is just, I can't even blame them for the things they're saying, but it's as embarrassing watching the things that Giants fans say online as it is the product on the field. Like, it's just embarrassing all around. And I can't blame them. Because right now, us Giants fans, we're trying to figure out, what is it? And I've come to a conclusion that it's everything. Yeah, there's times, I'm a Daniel Jones supporter, but there's times he makes it worse. Like, he is not a good quarterback when he's being pressured. Now, you could say that about most quarterbacks in NFL. But the way this offense is set up, like, when you're pressured, there's not much you can do. I mean, you can throw into a curl route. The flat's covered and the curl's covered. If you try and attempt anything heroic, you're going to look stupid. You're going to look bad. Daniel Jones needs to just throw that shit away. On all them plays where he's made them bad decisions, he needs to just throw them away. Listen, I get it. He's done better. But it's still something that we have to worry about as Giants fans. We see it. It just seems like now it only happens on Monday Night Football. So, I don't get it. The offensive line is just horrendously putrid. But at least early in the season, like, the offensive line at least could pass block. Now they can't. Now they can't pass block. I mean, I feel bad I'm not even talking about the defense. The defense was okay. I mean, I think even if the offense was competent tonight, the defense would have not held up. Tackling on the back end was pretty bad. They weren't very sharp. They weren't running really. They were just sitting. And by the way, all right, before I even go on this defense, I want to talk about this this announcer on here, the guy who wanted to be our GM or whatever, we can hire this guy. I mean, he's sitting on TV saying Tom Brady's audibling because a man beater when the Giants were running a cover 3. I get they had one man high, but the corners were popping out into a cover 3. Like, I'm a guy on my couch, and I can see that, like, if you're a casual fan, yeah, you're not thinking much of it, but I mean, come on, dude. If you're going to call something out like that, like, you're not Tony Romo, bro. Like, you're saying, like, he's audible in the man beaters and he's throwing in the cover 3. Like, but anyways, that's a side note. But this defense just wasn't sharp. There's just not much to say because the game really came down to how inept the offense was. It doesn't even matter what the defense was or wasn't. It was nice to see Adoree Jackson make an interception. I mean, at least on that play, Patrick Graham had brought the defense up a little bit so you could make that play. I mean, probably on 90% of the other plays, the corners would have been back way too far to even make that tipped pick. So it was nice to see at least, I don't know, when they sit back like that, like, it works. I get it. It works, especially down by the red zone. It just feels like it's non-competitive. It really does. Like, if you would have took me from watching football in the 90s, early 2000s, and all of a sudden, like, fast forward me to this game, I would have been probably disgusted sitting here watching the way this defense played. But and I just think Tom Brady's not the quarterback that you play like that. Tom Brady is the quarterback that you have to compete. I mean, you have to get up on the receivers. You have to make it a tough game. You have to make, Brady think twice about making a throw. When you give him easy throws, that's what he's made for. He's made a career out of that in New England, just taking the easy throw. And I'm not trying to say, because I know a lot of fans use it against him. He is the best, game manager of all time. Just because of that reason. You give him 5 yards, he will take it. And and the way that our cornerback, our secondary was tackling down in the red zone, not the winning formula for this defense. But I don't want to make this video like way super stupid long, and probably many of you are still hanging in there. But I don't know. I can't come on here tonight and give you words of encouragement. It was as ugly as you're gonna see. And I get Buccaneers is a good team. It just felt like this defense was banged up. I was expecting something. The guys are coming back better than this. It's not good. At this point, if the season ended right now, I'd say wholesale changes need to be made all the way around. And Will Hernandez, I'm officially out on him. So, like it up, subscribe, and peace.